That's interesting. I will say no, the wheel spin audio is fine, actually. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you right now.
Okay, beautiful. You know, we're just gonna pray. We're just gonna pray that we can get through this.
We got this.
This is the first stream on my new computer. It's only slightly better than my old computer. So far, it seems like it's going okay, but you never know.
So, what we're doing here, we're going number 1 to 32, right? Not 32 to 1?
Yeah. This is just for the ordering of the horse race.
Right. We're doing horse race.
Yes. There'd be
I completely forgot what we were here for.
There would be a lot more pomp and circumstance behind these wheel spins if this was actually deciding anything. I wouldn't just be like rapid firing them. But yeah, y'all, we will be upgrading the internet soon. That's a promise. It's not great now, so we're kind of putting this together with bandages and threads, but we move. The stream was down for a minute, and now it's back. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, essentially, we're spinning this wheel 30 times to determine the order of who gets which horse. Just so y'all know, there's no, rigging, there's no, testing behind the scenes to see, which horse wins most often, and we're just going to randomize the order of that. And then we're going to do a 2-minute horse race, because the Kentucky Derby's 2 minutes. This is just as high stakes as the Kentucky Derby. There's going to be one race, and just the order of who finishes where, 1 through 31, that will determine the order of the lottery and who gets their teams. So right now you're just watching wheel spins, but Lucky, if you can hear me, I'm just going to assume you can. You're not in the league, obviously, which breaks my heart. It breaks everyone's heart. But if you were in the league, which 3-star or below teams would be highest on your list? Who would you consider?
There's a handful of teams that actually really appeal to me. I think when you're getting down to the 3-star programs, you are generally going a bit more off vibes. I think it's more so just about, picking a brand, picking stadium, jerseys that you enjoy doing, because at a certain point, everybody's starting in a similar place as far as roster construction. Mm-hmm. But I will say there's still some advantages like that. Like Florida is still always going to be a great place to recruit out of. Central Florida looks like a fun team to use. That's also just a team that I've kind of enjoyed watching from a distance for a bit now. I think Central Florida would be up there. And also as a West Coast guy, I think Stanford and Cal will both be pretty fun teams. They're both nice, kind of storied West Coast Pac-10, Pac-12 programs. I think it'd be really fun to build up either one of those.
Yeah, I think we're kind of on the same wavelength in terms of which teams we would select, without getting, because I've already submitted my top 5 to Steel, so obviously without getting into specifics of who I chose. I think a fundamental fact about this league is if you find yourself with a Texas team or a Florida team or even a California team, places with multiple top tier programs, you're not necessarily going to be competing against those top tier programs all the time, since those will all be CPU, right? So if I use UCF as an example, right? Obviously, you would have to deal with Florida, FSC, Miami, in a typical situation. But those are all going to be CPU. Those are all going to be CPU controlled, and we've seen really across all 3 cycles at this point that the CPU does not always recruit to their fullest potential, especially when you've got 30 other guys.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They do not know what the fuck they're doing now. Especially if they're, all 30 guys are all getting sweaty in the menus, pressing A. You don't necessarily have to worry about them as much. Obviously, 5 stars, you'll have to deal with the CPU to a certain extent. But if I'm UCF, I'm not necessarily competing against Florida and FSU. I might be competing against, USF and Florida Atlantic, to give you an example. So it's a lot less intimidating than it would usually be.
I'll also be curious to see if you see. I'm sure we'll have a couple. Curious to see how many people you see go the Cam/Little Alex route. And start with the Kent States, the Central Michigan. I guess Central Michigan is actually, it's a 1-star, so it's still down there. But Alex didn't even make it to the first game of the first season before he realized just how atrocious the Kent State situation was.
No, he sure did.
But I would imagine we see some people willing to start with a 0 or a half-star team. I think that'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, the makeup of a man, right? The metal of a man. We've got some guys like Cam who, chose Central Michigan, stuck it out the whole time, ended up slowly building them to a true, playoff contender type of roster. And then you've got guys like Little Alex who really, after, 12 hours, are no, give me Virginia Tech instead. So, do you have any thoughts about just, really how those two guys compare to each other, just in terms of, I guess, like, heart and grit.
No, for sure. I think that generally speaking in life, I live by literally just like one like thought. Be a Cam, don't be a little Alex.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's your daily affirmation, ladies and gentlemen. That's your daily
I
quote
wake
to
up
kind
and
of
I look
chew
in the
on.
mirror and I say that.
Every time y'all wake up, like, just ask yourselves, how can I be more like Cam Rose today? How can I be a better man? How can I be a better human?
Every decision you make, you'll be going in the right direction if you do that.
As we approach the end of the wheel here, I do want to make something clear. There was obviously some dialogue in the Discord about a half hour ago. I did include Zeke in this lottery. I don't know for sure if he's actually going to be in the league or not. But he is included in this because I thought it would be better, to include him and then just, like, skip him if he's not in the league compared to, like, having him not be in the lottery at all and then we have to, like, rerun the whole thing. So...
Sounds like we got confirmation he is in.
Well,
At least King gave I think King gave confirmation.
the final spin comes down to myself and Ben, the Super Bowl 29 rematch. And just like Super Bowl 29, it will be me getting the dub. So I will be the 30th horse. Ben will be the 31st horse. I'm going to spin it one more time just to get Ben in the list. But you know what? Early predictions, Lucky. I'm not going to ask you for a top 3 because that's, like, impossible to predict. That's, like, IRL lottery odds to get that right. But whose horse do you have taking this?
It's always going to be Connor. Connor on top. I think that man can never lose a single thing. You can disregard past history. Just trust what I'm saying. Connor always wins. That's, like, the important number one. I think another thing's going to happen, and Warren kind of alluded to it in the chat a little bit. You're going to see Phil finish really high, just because life isn't fair. It's
Life isn't fair.
kind of just a fact of life at a certain point that Phil will finish really high. And then there's going to be some other really random person that we've never heard from talk in the chat at all. It's probably going to be Zeke, if we're being honest. Like, it's probably going to be some combination there of Connor, Phil, Zeke.
Notably, Zeke did win the test run. Now, the test run in last year's draft, I believe Puff came in last in that test run, but then he ended up coming in first in the IRL run, snaking Florida from me. This time, notably, Florida not eligible, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, because there have been a couple questions in the chat. I think I said it already, but just, like, the order of who finishes where, 1 through 31, that will be the order of the lottery. 2 minutes for the rest of our lives. Shout out Tim Tebow. And after I click this, we are off. And the horses are going. The music is blasting just like last time. The 10-second loop. Boz and Gordon off to an early lead. And Lucky. Which horses are standing out to you early here? As I understand, you're, like, a little bit behind of what I'm seeing, but which horses stand out to you here?
Noting Tato down there at the bottom. He's keeping a steady pace, keeping a steady pace. But as we've seen in the past, people come out of nowhere. I would think you'll see somebody who's off the screen at a certain point. They're going to be the one that ends up winning.
Absolutely. In both the CSB and Madden horse races last year, we saw someone fly from, like, last to first within the last 5 seconds. Like, there's some epic comebacks within these horse races, so don't pay too much attention, ladies and gentlemen, who's in first right now, as Manga's been pretty steadily up there, Cam's been pretty steadily up there. We will see a lot of lead changes as this goes.
I will know Connor and Ben up there running together, 2 best friends hanging out.
Two besties. 2 best friends in the world. Lucky, I had you pick who's going to come in first in this lottery. Who do you think is going to come in last? I'll say I think Troy's going to come in last because he's the most motivated, and it would be very much like these horses to kind of stick it to the most motivated users. That's what happened last year, but who do you have?
Definitely Justin. He was in first place at the halfway point, and if there's one thing I know about Justin, he doesn't have stamina.
How do you know that? Just out of curiosity?
Oh, the magician never reveals his secrets.
30 seconds left. Really, everyone's pretty clumped up. Last place Troy is only about 4 horse races behind first place Justin, but there will be a lot of lead changes as we hit these last 20 seconds. Team selections on the line.
Oh, there's the movement.
Yep, Cloud's fading away.
Steel falling all the way back.
Steel falling all the way back.
Steel hates to see that.
Now,
Justin staying strong.
Justin staying strong here. 5 seconds remaining as Justin's starting to fade away. We are seeing Gordon shoot up. It is my guy, Morty Mortz. I think we are all fired up within the booth here. Top 3, Morty, Hero, King. A lot of dogs here, really in the top 10. A lot of dogs here. I mean, Lucky, what an unbelievable race. It is Morty.
That was electric.
You know, by night he preps the UW soccer field for the U.S. men's national team to practice on, and by day he wins these horse races. What a dog! What a demon!
I just love to see that. That makes me so happy.
Finally, one of these lotteries breaks our way. Now, notably, I am off the screen completely, so that's tough. But we're going to ignore that. Morty first, Hero second, King third. As we continue to scroll down for the full results here, Cam, Justin, Gordon, Dram, Ben, Tyree, Troy. That is your top 10. They're continuing on down. Juice, Boz, Tado, Phil, Crucifix, Hootie, King, Travi, Warren, Run CMC, Willie, Zeke, Kevin. Notably, I still don't see myself. T7, Cloud, RKO, Mongo, Allen, Nick Steele, and in dead last.
Oh no.
In last place, ladies and gentlemen, 31 out of 31. I came in second to last year. We trained up for the whole year just for this race, and I am now in dead last in this one.
That's just classic.
Steele, I'll go ahead and send you my expanded list because I don't think I'm getting into the top 5, but Lucky. Not a whole ton to say. We'll obviously, let me copy the results real quick just so I can post them in the announcements after the fact. But final thoughts on really just a tale of two sides here for the Washington brothers. Morty coming in first, myself coming in dead last. But just like general thoughts on the race.
Something we didn't mention before, a very classic finish as well for Nick, who never seems to be able to get out of the bottom 5 in any lotto that we've ever in BL. You hate it. You hate to see it for my guy. But I'm happy to see him joining CFB this year. Glad to keep him playing games in here. Yes. League's not the same without him.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what the format is. Like, we can be, selecting ping pong balls in an Embassy Suites bedroom. Yes, bedroom. We can be racing horses, excuse me. It really doesn't matter. Nick will always take these L's. Not as bad as an L as I just took, not to make it all about myself, but I'm spiraling a little bit, Lucky. I'm not going to lie to you. I might need to be talked off the ledge here a little bit.
Yeah, now you get to go hang out with family, I guess. You can just bring their moods down.
Yeah, just like... God, what a horrible time for me. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining. We had a consistent 20-25 viewers the entire time. The chat was really active. We're going to get the team selection going. It's going to start with Morty. Morty's living his absolute best life. He's had, a hell of a week here for Morty, and no one more deserving of having that type of week than Morty. But Lucky, thank you so much for joining me. Any final words, any final thoughts you want to get off before we cut the stream?
Streets are saying Better League is back.
The streets are saying Better League is back. Certainly BLN is back, and certainly the chat's back because y'all got real athletic, and I appreciate that. We will post the full 1 through 31 ordering here shortly, and it might be the last time you ever hear from me in Discord because I have a lot to contemplate on, ladies and gentlemen. Peace!